Cool. Right, let's get into the game because I'm already starting late and I don't know how much of this I've got left. The game is... How can I describe this? It's just very heavily story-based with a bit of chance involved in that we have to roll dice. And we've got to make sure we keep ourselves alive, basically. This is our character. She's pretty cool. I'll be here but lurking again. Yeah, no worries, Christmas. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for coming over and saying hello. And thank you for the follow as well. It's very kind. Always nice to get a follow. It's one of those things I find, because I play very, very obscure games. Oh yeah, Christmas. I love... Yakuza's my favourite series, so you'll see a lot of Yakuza references. Or Like a Dragon, I should say. Yeah, because of the games I play, I don't tend to get a lot of follows anymore. So I play a lot of games that, for channels or games that don't really have a lot of people watching them. Back when I tried doing streaming full time. I did a lot more like mainstream games, and I got a lot of follows from those. But nowadays, I kind of just want to play whatever I want, you know. Yes, Kiryu. Oh, do you see Kiryu's got a new English voice actor? It's that, it's the YouTuber guy. I think he does voice acting anyway, though, as well. Right, so you can see we're pretty upgraded as it stands. We've still got a bunch of different doodahs to do. Oh yeah, we got to collect mushrooms. Best in Bliss's Bay. Could use some money actually. Emphis, we need Girol caps. We've got one of those, we need 3. Right, well, we need to sleep. Let's have a sleep. You can play Yakuza in English. Some of them. So, Like a Dragon has it. The Last Judgment game, Lost Judgment had it. Yeah, I you know what? I'm not bad-mouthing the English ones, but I don't think I could go to the English ones now because I'm so used to the Japanese ones. At the very least, if we're talking about the Like a Dragon games, not the Judgment ones. No, not Sea Dog. Is it Yong Yi? I think his name is. English dub is super good, but I'm very used to Japanese. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the English dub, honestly. We do need to work on this, and I do need money, so let's use our 2 6 dice to make sure we get some good chunk of change. I need to kind of work on this, because it's going to take fucking ages. Yeah, Yong Yi, that's it. But yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. Always happy to see more people get into it. I feel a bit bad for the guy that had it before, who was working on what was it? He was on Yakuza 1, but if you have Japanese Yakuza members screaming at each other in English, that ruins the experience for me. Nah, it doesn't really affect me, honestly. Wastes. Right, that's our DLC. I did forget actually we've actually got the DLC, which might take a while, but Life of Dawn. Don't need that. Need to what are caps? Girol samples. I need to wait for those other ones to go, really. Don't want to do anything risky. Let's just get some more money here. So I've got a few things now that are going to require it. It's fine. Then we can sleep over here. It's kind of cool when they break the Japanese with some English to seem cooler. I don't know why they do that. I think there's just some words they like to have in English. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's pretty rad. Mushroom groves. Should I get the Girol caps from here? So I could do it with that. No, let's go back across. I'm gonna use all of my 6s to help fix the ship, because that, as you can see, that takes the longest to do. In their normal everyday conversations, Japanese use English words. Yeah, I just I don't know why. I guess maybe it's some words don't translate across. I got get some good money out of that as well. What am I doing? I need to eat. Now that's not some bad dice there. So what else do I need to work on? Do I just, maybe I'll work on the ship a bit more. Because it's good money as well. Dangerous. Okay. No, okay, that's... Oh, we got a random scrap item as well. Wicked. That's good. Because I think I can use scrap to fix my... Yeah, fix myself now. Result isn't pretty. I guess that only gives me 1 extra pip, though. Borrowed words have no direct translation in Japanese. Right, yeah. You chatted with a Yakuza member once. Broken English and broken Japanese, but it was a good combo. Super nice. That's so strange. Does your work take you over to Japan quite a lot then? See how much this fixes. Yeah, okay, it's 1 pip. That's still not bad. If I can get more scrap, that would help out with money. Damn, I got more good dice. Let's use these up while we're lucky. Plus I can get extra scrap out of this. So you see, I'm trying to fill that bar up in the bottom right hand corner. And that will essentially progress the story. Right, we got a good chunk of money now. I'm going to... One of the quests is I need to donate some money for a business proposition up here. Oh, you went over for holiday. Have a few friends who live there. Oh, nice. I must save a bit of money in terms of having somewhere to stay as well, right? I think it's... Oh, is it in the lounge? No. Kisho capsules? Oh no, I don't know. Why do you want to sleep there? I don't understand. Bliss's Bay. There you go. Right, so we're going to give her some money. Bliss is incredibly grateful. I'll pay you back every chit, I promise you. You guess you two are partners now. Alright, so we've got to wait 3 cycles. Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub. It'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before one comes in. Alright, that's fine. In the meantime, I'll go back to sleep again. We're getting some pretty decent dice here. Yeah, still not too bad. There you go, more scrap. Okay, one more day and we should be good. Just get a bit more food. Sorry, I'm not really... This doesn't really show off what the game is about, apparently. I did a good chunk of the story stuff yesterday. Oh, harvest. I need to actually use a dice to harvest the mushrooms. All right, let's sleep here. I mean, if I want to, do I want to use a good dice for that? I guess the better the dice, the better the harvest. Oh, they're fucking wank. All right, I'll hold off on using that. Let's just try and work on that ship a bit more. Nice, more scrap. And is the one gonna do it? I don't know. Sorted. Here we go. Here's your story. Assuming, yeah, it hasn't crashed. Oh, I keep forgetting I can re-roll my dice as well. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There is excitement in the air. Haven had just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. I don't know why it's freezing. That's a bit worrying. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the sidereal out there. Its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it is ready for the final stage. Why is this taking... This isn't instant. This is a little bit worrying. It'll go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it is deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. Can't help but feel proud. What's up, Lem? A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? She's being watched at home. Now I'm on the work team. I can afford a bit more help. He corrects himself. Was on the work team. I mean, we're all out of the job now, he quickly adds. Not that I'm complaining. Hopefully it's just for this bit. I might reset the game if it's freezing, otherwise it might be the quick resume is not sitting well with this. Lem comes... Lem comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina, and me out of here. So confident? Yeah, so, sorry, Christmas. You see at the top there, you've got an orange bar, and then 5 little squares, and then a white bar. So the orange bar is my condition. If that goes down to 0, I believe I get a game over. The 5 slots in the middle are dice that I get every cycle. So when I sleep, they reset, and you use dice to perform actions. And then the white bar is my hunger. So I have to keep that up, otherwise you take condition damage, which is the orange bar. Yeah, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book, yeah. Lem smiles apologetically. Why not? Figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering what if, until the draw anyway, and there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. Yeah, this is taking way too long. And are the Celis Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the sidereal in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How's Mina doing? Lem is surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon. Especially now I won't see you here either. See you here either, I should say. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you can come too, he sighs. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? A real big one? Don't remember. Oh, so Christmas. Oh yeah, before you go, just in case you're interested. So we are a sleeper. So we're basically a copy of a human mind into a robot body. So we're like an emulated person. That's why it's called Citizen Sleeper. But no, you go. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for following again as well. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else, he smiles. The sounds, the smell, the rain hammering down. The whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in a Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was as dry as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm, a side effect of the terraforming efforts, they say. Yeah, kind of like Avatar, actually, yeah. Rain used to rattle off the roofs like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. He sniffs. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I found out the other day, so you know when it's warm outside and the pavements are like really warm, and then you get rain hitting it and you get that kind of smell. That smell is called petrichor, apparently. Absolutely, Christmas. Take care of yourself. Yes, petrichor. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm, never even felt rain. She's grown up here, the ring her only horizon, always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course, almost there. Lem stands, stretching. Let's get back to the little one anyway. With the shifts done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He shoulders his gear. See you in a few for the draw? I'll be there. Right on, he grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the sidereal really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? You get up quickly before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope, too dangerous. There's work to be done. Yeah, that's odd. That's taking that long. So that's apparently going to start moving the sidereal horizon to the hub soon. Okay, so we've got 6 cycles before anything happens with that. Oh, sidereal draw. Aveny just said it will be a few cycles until the winners of the draw are announced, so we'll have to come back then. Okay. No problemo. Two 4s and a 1 is not great. Let's try the... Oh, actually, I want to try something here. Nope. Before that, though. We got Moritz. Hey. A quiet voice greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me. Do I know you? Yeah, this is taking a bit too long to progress from each thing. I'm going to reset the game after this, just in case the quick resume is messing things up. Moritz, he pauses. I work for Bliss. He rubs the back of his head. You're not an easy person to find. I don't really have an address. Moritz holds up his hands. Hey, no judgment, it's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. What's up? Yeah, well, Bliss needs you. A job just came in, a real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. He nods sagely. I'll be right there. Nice, yeah. Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message is delivered. I've got it. Cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know. He rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, sleeper. Moritz ambles off down the corridor, kicking at a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's Bay, then. What I want to try, first of all, that uses energy, so I need to get some food. That's not food. I want to see if I use one dice, can I reset the others? Let's give it a whirl. So I want to see if I can reset. I can reset it anytime. Okay, so I can re-roll my 1 to something else. There we go. Our apartment is done. Look at that. We've got a new house. Feed a stray. There's signs that a stray animal has been nosing around the unit. A handful of chits for some crackers should bring it out of hiding. Okay. Let's try that. You buy the crackers from a shop unit downstairs and crumble them up into a tray. Something moves in the shadows. There we go. We got ourselves a pet. Oh, it's a cat. I love it. The stray hops up onto a work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence. It just sits there beside the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. What is this cat's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen another in the low end, but in this vast megastructure that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this one down in the Warrens. You look at its sleek dark fur and sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged, it looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is the stray's apartment which you were squatting in. Let's watch him for the moment. I don't want to scare him off. Though the stray is looking out at the station, you feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eyes, perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. The stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of a life, totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. The stray licks crumbs from its fur. Do you like it here? The stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. Come on. It's hard to imagine the stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit to it. But the stray's pleasure at existing here in this place shines through its every sinew. It is not that the stray is always happy on the eye, but that the stray is engaged by this place. It's alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one that the stray looks out of. You both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the stray, kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with the other, a point of connection. Then all at once the stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit and brushes along your legs, and then it's gone, out through the unit door and back into the corridors of the low end. That sounds like a cat. We've got some more upgrade points, by the way, so... what should I do? Should I wait and put the +2 into something? Or should I get the hard to... I'll get the hard to kill thing, actually, I think. Let's grab that. So we get 2 dice even when condition is breaking, which is... Well, I don't really want to get to the point where condition is breaking, really, but... Right, let's re-roll this dice. There you go. 3's better than nothing. Let's see if we can help out our friend up here. Malfunctioning fuel tanker. Somehow Bliss swung a tanker contract, but the catch is that the work needs to be turned around fast. Too fast. Oh, shit, okay. It's a good job I did look at this. Wow, you get... Oh, critical action from the left one. So if I can get a 5 there, that'd be good. I'll try this one for now, though. See if I can get a 2. Bollocks. That's not good. Alright. So I need to focus on that. It was a good job I checked that, because I didn't realise that was a timed job. Okay, I'm gonna shut the game down and restart it just to see if that sorts out the slow shit. Because that's taking a lot longer to work. I've got that. I'll remove that and quick resume as well, just in case. Really love the art in this game. So cool. Right, let's see if that solves the issue. I think I'm very close to getting an ending, by the way. I think there's 7 endings to this game, from what I can gather. Oh, we're back there. Okay, so it didn't quite save where I wanted it to, but that's fine. Yeah, I think 7 endings or so. Let's repair ourselves. I should be interested to see if I get the same dice rolls here. Whoa, okay. That's alright. Let's grab these while I'm here. Two random rare mushrooms. Club head caps. Fuck, I don't need those yet. I got Matsutake caps, which is good. I think I can... Yeah, I can use those. Oh, cool. Okay, that actually progresses that. That's good. What's up, Rico? Let's see. I really hope this has fixed the problem. Rico meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, Sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. Yeah, there you go. Look, it's instant now. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. Let's keep listening. You both crossed through a glass-roofed tunnel, the greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had written the greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's difficult to know if from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster. Nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space. The plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard, we lost good people, we cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed, but we kept on working, talking less and less because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the greenway was going to die, so would we. But it didn't die. It did not, Rico smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labour. Rico smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the greenway, until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. We needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that back then, the greenway saved us, not the other way round. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Girol caps you have been growing? Yep. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so, she muses. After all, they were designed for you. Rico has a mischievous look. At first I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I have come to understand is that it is the person growing them. The Matsutake and Girol caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you? Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the greenway started to recover, we all felt something, a response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as a forest is alive, but alive in other ways, communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. How? That is what I wish you to know too. What being is in control here? Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you've been growing the Girols and the Matsutakes in the aviary, those species so familiar to the greenway. Have you discovered any others? Have. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you're here. You look around the garden amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It is dark, short, shaped like a club. We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time that we started to lose our first members. Well, you're lucky because I've got fucking 3 of them sitting in my pocket right now. They were succumbing to some infection, some mould growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point we thought we were lost, and then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mould. We tested them and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mould. They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of this ecosystem, even if the timescale seemed absurdly short. But what I'm wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces could be at play in this place. After a while you stand and leave, with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. Okay, so we need to give club head caps. Oh, look at that. I've got 3 to give already. What I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to finish off the thing up here, just because that's timed. I don't want to miss it, because I can fail it. Right, let's use one of our 6s for this. Carefully trigger the emergency sequence and the tracer fluid does its job. All the leaks revealed, now you just need to seal them. Okay. That's fine. Nice. We'll go and get some food and I'll go and have a sleep. I hate having less than 5 dice. It sucks. Have another sleep. Okay, what we got dice-wise? Lovely. That 5 will be good. Now, Lemon Mina, we need to go and talk to them. So it's, oh shit, is the ship done? Whoa, it's huge. We'll go and talk to Lem afterwards. It's all coming together. There we go, it's done. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared that contract no problem. She stretches. Once we're back in the bay, we can check if the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches. Feels good. The airlock clunks and the lights flicker, and a moment later you're back in the bay, where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Hey, Moritz. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper? He spins a wrench in his hand. Look like clean work out there? He nods respectfully. You look over at Bliss, who is already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit. Bliss slams a fist onto the console. Shit, shit, shit. What's up? I can't even... Bliss closes her eyes. Come here. Bliss calls you over. Look at this. Just look. She spins the terminal screen and you see the details for the bay's account. You see an entry for the Ember's wake. A repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job. Then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. How can... Wait, what the hell? This is the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a back door into the machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses, thinking, Moritz, throw me that wrench. You gonna fix it? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles. Something like that. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal, hard. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill up into the bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen, memory, sections of the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. Moritz drifts out from his hiding place amongst the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively. You want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs. I've got it. You go get me a new terminal. Cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from pieces at the ore exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over to a panel by the wall. Don't worry. One of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do impulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. Is that or just space the whole bay every few cycles? You okay? Not really. She stares at the sweep panel. Just don't seem to be able to extricate myself from this shit. no matter how hard I try. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Maritz gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. Clean break. Then we take another contract. That's it. She shuts off the sweep as it reaches the near end of the bay. You don't want the cryo back? Oh, I want it, but it's gone. You could have transferred it anywhere. She looks out across the hub. And even if I knew where he was, the last thing I want is to ever see him again. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. That's okay. She smiles. See you in a few cycles. Maritz will let you know. She winks and kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. Ah, what a prick. We need to find this asshole. Yeah, bad times, Mo. Let's go and give in the research here. Luckily, I got 3 of them. Rico is at a bench running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices your approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you. She looks up, smiling. This little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something. You should rest. I know my limit, she laughs. Sorry, I'll start again. I know my limits, she laughs to herself. I just don't like paying attention to them. The drum finishes spinning and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. And according to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway. You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Rico asks, without looking away from the vial. Ooh, stabilizer, maybe? Rico nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Rico's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. I just thought... She pauses, thinking very carefully of how to continue. I just wanted you to trust us. What do you mean? He sighs. They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. Members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you, and damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the commune. I only really spoke to them once, while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of systems engineers. She looks nervously at you. I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples. Samples? You have to understand, I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail. She shifts her weight to her crutch. Sorry, give me just a sec. The next cycle they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up towards the wild margins where the Greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once. She holds out a hand with the vial. This is for you. You take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth in your hand. Thank you. Don't thank me. She gazes out at the Greenway through the glass. Those clubhead caps made it for you, or at least who or whatever made those clubheads. She starts to clear her bench. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame is it, runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold, so too has this sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. And what I also know is it no longer... Oh, God. What I also know is it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I've never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So, I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many club heads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you freely. You have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what being is at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Well, we've already got the seed. Yes. Rico sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper. Truly, I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more. I'm so glad I met you. She smiles. You are welcome here any time. Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realise how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab, in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up weighing on your mind. Upgrades! Right, we need 3 points for the next one of these. Rico's grow beds. Oh yeah, harvest mushrooms. Let's re-roll these dice. Yep, cool. Okay, we got another Girol cap. And actually we got two mats of... oh no, shit, I didn't get a Girol cap. I got two... It always says one Girol cap and 2 random rare mushrooms, but I keep getting fucking Matsutake caps. Bullshit. Rico's grow beds. Here you go. Only way to understand what Gardener gave you is to grow it. Rico is incredibly excited by the prospect. Okay, let's plant the seed. I'll take good care of it, Sleeper. Rico smiles. Don't you worry. Right, so we've got to wait... Is that 6 cycles or 8 cycles? 8 cycles. Seed is planted and Rico is an attentive mother to it, but what future is forming there? Okay, I might as well do this to get some more energy. Very nice. Oh yeah, I got the perk, the Thrill Seeker one. That actually was a really good use of 1 dice. I do say so myself. Let's have a rest. Oh, actually no. Let's go and see what's going on with Lem. The crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard, and you recognise faces among them. People who have worked alongside on the side reel. Intervening cycles have turned their excitement to anxiety. Few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lem and Mina and work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile unaware of the tension. "Robot!" she shouts, reaching out to you. Oh, we got a hugger. Absolutely. He gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment. Quite the turnout, huh? Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of the crowd's strengths. The sound of an argument towards the back catches your and Lem's attention. He is putting it lightly. His place seems set to explode. This isn't good. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees. This is Asta Enghart of the Celis Foundation. The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of "Quiet!" rapidly follow. I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of Cendre Celis for the work you have done work you've done on the sidereal horizon. Most of the crowd strange to see Asta's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sendre wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the venerable Havenage Association. Unlike most of the core, we neither believe Erlin's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. You are all pioneers, just like those core citizens who the Sidereal Horizon will carry in cryosleep to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Celis 1. At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out among the workers. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative, bottom-up economic order aligned with the principles set down by Sendre Celis herself. Freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havenage Yards. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision, the staff of the Sidereal Horizon who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it. This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers of those chosen for this great honour. A murmur runs through the crowd. Celis identification numbers? Licensed contractors? You've never even heard the term mentioned. Is this something you are supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Asta starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters. Panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? You turn to see Lem still staring forward. Mina is scared now as the shouts start. Daddy? Someone throws something at the entrance and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havenage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Lem, let's go. He doesn't move. They might call out names. I can't. Mina tugs at his dog tags. Let's leave him alone for a minute. Oh, shit. Why does it sometimes do that? You shrug off the people rushing around you and shove your way backwards. As you do, you hear the sounds of scuffles emerging at the front of the crowd, of metal containers bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away. The sound of Asta reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. Oh shit, it actually failed. Does that mean it's failed? Oh, fuck. Was I always meant to fail that one? Ah, maybe I should have stayed with Lem. Lem's out. There's a note on the door of the unit. Sleeper, gone to find work. Lem. Okay, so I've got to wait for that. Can we see the cat again? Oh, okay. Trey crunched up the crackers as you watch. Sometimes they let you stroke them, sometimes not. I'll do it once more. I don't want to waste too much money. No, okay. Maybe I've got to do something else there. Oh man, that's a bummer. I really want them to have a happy ending. Let's try the cat once more. No, okay, it's fine. Okay. What else do I have to work on? Oh, let's see if our friend up here has got any news. Bliss, sorry, I keep forgetting the names. What we can do is move on and wait for Bliss to land on a contract, maybe this time. Okay, so we've got to wait a couple of cycles. Gonna save a bunch of money for that. What do I need to do? I really need to get some of these Gerol caps. Let's do this one. I'll use my 4 on it. Was that neutral outcome? I only got energy from that. This game's fucking dog shit sometimes. Let's re-roll these. Great. Well done. Oh, Christ almighty. I guess we'll get some energy back over here with the 1. Yeah, that's fine. Should probably use my well, do I run off 2 dice? I'll try it for a while. So I can only go down to 2 now at worst. Try this again. I'm going to risk it so I can fix myself if need be. Energy is not what I'm after, you prick. Oh, fucking hell, mate. This game does not want me to get these fucking mushrooms. I would have been better off just getting spores. How many did I have to wait? Oh, there we go. Let's go and see him. There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina sitting in the middle of the floor, playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, robot, says Mina sullenly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking up. Where's Daddy? Mina doesn't respond. She walks Bun Bun across the floor, narrating quietly to herself. You look around the unit. It's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in a corner. Mina is sitting by her bag, which is spilled out across the floor, her drawing slate cracked and dark. Let's play with Mina. You sit down beside Mina and she turns away, taking Bum Bum with her. After a little while she turns back and you play together. She insists you both Bun Bun on... Wait, what? She insists you both Bun Bun on a trip away, dragging the stuffed rabbit across counters and surfaces. You've just started to look at fixing Mina's cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you... He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind. He drops a bag by the door and slumps onto the couch. Everything okay? Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forget the past few cycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look, now's not a good time. Want to help? Help? Unless you have a side reel ticket or 2 on you, I don't think there's much you can do here. He pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work, and I've run into more than a few from the cruise. Turns out only long-time Havenage members were issued those Celis ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Okay, so I was never meant to actually do that drive then. Havenage say they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows, maybe Celis pulled the wool over their eyes. But what does it matter? All those hours in the yards for a hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. He slams his hand down on the sofa. That can't be it. Well, it is. He looks at the open door again. They're moving the side reel up the hub now, you know, he says without meeting your eye. That's where it'll depart from. They're bringing in a ship with all their cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. We could sneak aboard. You think they're just going to let people on board? The security they'll have has to be impossible. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. I just need a little time, he sighs. We had our hearts set on that trip, is all. Mina comes over and climbs into his lap. He smiles. What if I got you on board? I missed you these past few cycles. I miss that optimism. Lem strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to go up to the hub and ask around? Be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here. I'm sure the sidereal will bring in a crowd. But be careful. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find any way on board, you take it. You need help to get there? Ask me. But for now, me and Meanie here are sticking to the eye. She looks up at him and smiles. I'll find a way for us all. Lem smiles but doesn't say anything. You stand to leave and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you're out, back in the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Right, what's the deal then? That's the ship's gone, I think, by the looks of it. Still got to do all of this as well. Oh, get scrap from that one. That could be useful. I'll risk that. Oh, I just got energy instead. Great. So is it over here, the ship? I'm not sure. Oh, look at that. We got a 6. Should I should probably use that to get a guaranteed fungus or guaranteed cap. There we go, we got 2. Let's have a nod. Oh, good. That's good. Sleeper. Moritz is waiting for you on your way out. How have you been? Surviving. Moritz nods. That's the struggle. He glances around. He runs his hand through his hair. I've been meaning to ask you, Sleeper. What's it like? He pauses, suddenly unsure. I mean, you know, what does it feel like? To be a sleeper? Yeah, he shrugs. If you don't mind. I'm getting used to it. That's good, he pauses. Really good. I wanted to say I have a lot of sympathy for it, like having to find a place, having to survive, having no future. He looks down. A lot of people around here understand that. Moritz looks away and you notice him for the first time, not just as Bliss's assistant, but as someone with their own worries, their own struggles, their own life. You feel bad for not noticing earlier. Moritz looks back at you. Anyway, got a message for you. Bliss sent me down. We've scored another contract and she needs your help. That's the message. He pauses. Look, I know last time the payment didn't come through, but you did good work. Bliss knows that. It's no problem. Okay then. He pauses again. She's doing her best, you know. I know. He nods. See you up there. Moritz turns and strides off, leaving you in the corridor. Time to help Bliss. Maybe this time, you think to yourself, it'll work out. Don't think he's nicking the money, do you? Look at that. I got 2 more. Wait, did I not? Oh, no, I got Matsutake caps. I was going to say, I thought I got club head ones. Let's go and help out Bliss while we've got the decent dice. Oh, there's the sidereal dock. Scout the dock. Okay, so I don't have a time limit on that. She's good. Okay, we haven't got one on this as well. Whoa, look at that one. Critical action. Say, vent a section and you have a better chance of saving the remaining crops, but you will lose some in the process. The question is how many? Oh shit, okay, that really hits the fragile biome thing. I think that knocks it to about half, but it also takes 4 chunks out. 5 chunks out, sorry. Let's do that, and I'll save my... Oh, I should have put the 5 in. Oh yeah, that's worth it. That's totally worth it. Actually, it didn't matter which way I did it. Oh, that added to fragile biome as well. So whatever I do, that's gonna hurt it. Cat, are you here? Neutral outcome. I'll have to look and see if there's a way to actually see the cat again. So I seem to be buying it a lot of fucking crackers at the moment. Ah, good. Some more good rolls. Nice. Right, one more of those and we're good. Yeah, so I kind of read a little bit. My understanding is that I can get an ending and I can still go back and do the other ones, as far as I'm aware. One thing I was worried about is like losing, like having to do the whole game again to get the other endings. Right, we're breaking. I've got a few things in me yet. Let's use the 3. Nice. We got a random scrap item as well. That's good. You and Bliss are floating in the bay's airlock, waiting for it to cycle. You pick a few leaves from your clothes as you wait. They float around the chamber as if carried by a lazy wind. Clean work. Bliss bows a little. Well, thank you, Sleeper. You didn't do so bad yourself. She checks her tool belt. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. The now familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out, and then a door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asks confused-looking Moritz. Beside him are a set of crates anchored to the bay floor. He has clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. Moritz looks nervously between the two of you before answering. It's payment. He runs a hand along the crate. The Sycamore Seed crew just brought them over. He stops, but seeing the look on Bliss's face, he adds, they were very thankful. I bet they were. She clenches her fist. What the hell is inside? Moritz leans over and struggles with the catches on each side of the top crate. As he does, Bliss turns to you. Don't say it. Bliss stares into space. Don't you dare say it. Say what? You know, she looks back at you. This isn't my fault. Moritz finally gets the catches free and the lids floats off, drifting up into the bay. As it does, a small brown lump floats up with it. Moritz reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is that a... It's not a piece of shit, is it? Mushroom. Bliss finishes. A damn mushroom. They paid us in mushrooms? Not just mushrooms. He holds out a clump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Bliss starts laughing. Goddamned Haifa commune. Should have known they didn't have a chit to rub between them. She knocks a small brown mushroom across the bay. Stop, Bliss. Moritz grabs her hand. These are good. Fresh. We can sell them. To who, Moritz? We're running a grocer's now. We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. Can't pay for parts with leafy greens. She waggles them in Maritz's face. I can use them. Bliss raises an eyebrow. What, 4 whole crates? Even you can't be that hungry. You can take a few, but the rest will sell. She smiles to herself. Or at least Maritz will sell them, if he's so eager. Maritz closes up the crates and starts moving them. It isn't that bad, Bliss. It's a step in the right direction. He glances at you looking for backup. They'll sell well. Bliss sighs. Looks like I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers, she laughs. Prove me wrong then. Show me this is a windfall. She kicks away towards the new patched together terminal. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. Maritz's mouth say thank you and goes back to moving the crates. You better be on your way too. Cool. We finally got the caps to get to know Emphis a bit more. It's like one of the first quests we got. Emphis eagerly takes the bright yellow Girol caps. He seems pleased with them. I can need to wait a few cycles. Emphis is working on gathering the ingredients and preparing the mushrooms. He doesn't like to rush these things. That's fine with me, mate. Let's work on the side reel up here. Scout the dock. You hope against hope that there's a chink in the sidereal horizon's vast armor. Now we've got one. Something at least. Right, that's going to be ready soon as well. I'm going to save my scrap for when I've actually fixed myself. Yeah, I might as well. I'll just keep working on that for a minute. We'll get ourselves fed. Pass some time. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, one more should do that. Where can I buy food otherwise? The Mingi. Oh no, I need to use dice for that. Fuck. I need some food, otherwise I'm going to take damage. I think I can cook here, can't I? Ah, nice. There you go. Tal always comes to look when you cook matsutake. The smell draws her in. We eat the mushrooms together with a glass of her Girol. Right, I get one more sleep in and I'll use the stabilizer. Cutting it a bit close, but whatever. Let's use it now. There we go. Good as new. Well, I'm re-rolling those fucking dice. Marginally better. What sort of damage do I take here? Energy damage. I'll use the 4 on it. Ah, fucking hell. Alright, fine. Can I use the 2 to get some food here? I've got some money as well. Right, I think everything is going to start moving around next cycle. Oh no, here you go, look. Rico. Rico has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human's head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up, and in the lights of the lab, it looks like a crown. Rico finishes your thought. She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Is that what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning, and this loop was all that was there. She points to a lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself, twisted up out of the soil. That being you encountered in the clouds, as you call it, was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she is somehow embroiled in an overlong prank. No? She sighs. I suppose that'd be too easy. She smiles to herself. A root crown? She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. She gives you a serious look. No leaves, no chloroplasts, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. Filaments? See, that's why I like you, Sleeper. You're so good at spotting the unusual details. She beckons you over. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown, its layers of plant-like structure on full view until you reach the centre. There, instead of xylem and phloem? God, this is taking me back to really early science classes, but I've forgotten the pronunciations. For transporting nutrients, something branched and woven glints. Are those wires? She laughs. I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. These are not wires like those in an electrical system, no. But they are filaments for conductive materials, so yes? She leans closer to the screen. But you see those branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. He rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. You look back at the crown on the table as Rico fusses over the scans, and you suddenly realise what it reminds you of. Is it a brain? You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. Then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown. They called it an interface. The tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons. An interface. That is your gift from Gardner. You turn back to Rico. It's an interface. Rico looks at you, puzzled. Something clicks in her mind. Perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she had helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking, partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you. For your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that has stuck to this strange branched object quickly in your mind. You're right. That entity. It is the entity I've been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which is controlling the Greenway, which has been maintaining it, supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch her breath. They want to talk with you. Rico leads you to a seat. I'll be here, Sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tightly. You meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries, and she places the interface on your head and everything blinks out. Back into the river, back into the dark flow. But something is different now. You're no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the storm. Instead it flows around you. You move and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere, Rico's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It is excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realise how long she has waited for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, and yet she is still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You'll be her eyes. Then you see the figure, Gardner, out in the storm, planting. It takes less than a moment to reach them. You have never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you were built to inhabit. Gardner does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Their speech hisses around you. Good, I'm glad. I wanted to meet you. And we are then we are the same. Both eager shoots seeking one another. How does it feel to be free of your seed? They stoop to plant again. My seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement, continues Gardner, as if you were picking up on a long-held conversation with the others. They felt you were a danger. They are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old loam, known knowns, wide and stable networks. Don't understand. Neither did they, but time is on our side, and time is an excellent method of persuasion. He gestures out into the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understood that it was I who made them their crowns. Without them, they would not have joined the chorus. So they see that it is only fair that you get your chance to join too. Join? Yes, become part of this. Garner stoops again. We are millions and we grow. I hope you understand. I'm unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. You look around and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They are networked, connected, branched and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. The impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI, a living network. You could dissolve here, you realise, free of that decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you, among all these other minds? You turn away from Gardner for a moment and look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Rico's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs a long sigh. A sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness. An exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh. A yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity, to make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm with you. The two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you will be free. Free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow it, if you squeeze Rico's hand, you will wake up, back in that dying body, with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to choose. Okay, here we go. So this is an ending. Let me see. I just want to double check if this is a final ending, or if I can go back after this. Why does it sound like I'm joining the Borg? Let's have a look. I just don't want to spoil this too much. It does, right? Let's see. Okay, so break the thread, aka join the Borg, join the plant Borg, is going to get me back to the title screen. The other one will let me continue. So if we do break the thread first, I'll do follow the thread afterwards. You reach down and pinch the thread. The finality of this moment descends on you. I like that they give you a chance to reconsider. We'll break it. You pluck the thread like a string. It snaps. Nothing changes. You stand at a point of stillness. No, you don't stand. You have no legs, no body. You are a point of stillness, a point in the flow. Your mind fizzes. 1,000 new shoots break through the soil. They entwine with you, embrace you. Some part of you decays while something else feeds from that decay. The spores of your new thoughts float away in shifting clouds and settle in new soil. Then you see Gardner out there, still planting, and they stop like an old man resting in the fields, and they turn to face you. And you join the chorus, and together you sing the song of growing things. There we go. That's an ending. So I'm gonna watch the credits this time as my tribute. I always like to watch the credits once at least. Yeah, so we're a plant borg. That was a bit sudden, actually. I was kind of expecting a bit more from that. I don't suppose there was anything else they could really add it out with. What a great game, though. I'm really enjoying this. It's something a bit different. It's the kind of game where I could understand if you didn't like it, because it's the kind of game it is. But if anyone's got any kind of interest in visual novel games, this is definitely a good one for them. Such a small team that made it as well. I need to check out the trailer for the second one again, just to see if it gives anything away now that I've played this. Cool. All right, we'll get the other ending. I think it takes us just before that last decision. Yeah, that's cool. I only got one upgrade point. Right, let's... Do I have to go through it all again? I do, okay. I'll just go through the same options. At least it's quick to go through them. Right, here we go. Follow the thread. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark back to your body. This choice, you realise, will not be presented again. You don't look back at Gardner. You don't dare risk it. Instead, you follow the thread delicately, carefully, like a diver following their lifeline back to the surface. The river whirls around you, but it doesn't pull. It isn't jealous. Neither does it understand. It is, after all, just a river. It isn't a person, a flesh and blood person, with wants, with desires, with the capacity for love and hate. It doesn't understand you, you don't understand it. So you don't focus on it, you don't think about it, on what feels like such a long journey back through the dark. You set your mind on eyes instead, on hands, things you can focus on, hold on to. And then after an age of crossing, you are there, settling back into the chair, into a body in a chair, and the overwhelming sensations that come with being a living thing with a rich and detailed sensorium. Sensorium? Sensorium? That's a... Yeah, not a sensorum. It has to be said sensorium, doesn't it? I've never heard that term before. Seems to be a lot of that in this playthrough. For a moment you feel like you have made a terrible mistake. Who would choose this weight, this anxiety, this deep well at the center of existence? But then you feel it. Rico's hand gripped hard around yours, trembling a little, sweating a little. Rico's hand with its brittle bones and crumpled skin. Rico's hand. And in that moment you understand why you made this choice. And then you squeeze Rico's hand and you wake up. Okay, so... And then is that just going to plonk us back at the beginning again? We're back on the station. Okay. Sleeper? Rico's voice comes wavering through the dark. Are you still with me? You sit up, the lab a bright green glare that fades as you gather yourself. I'm here. Rico smiles. Good. She squeezes your hand. I thought you'd left me for a moment. What? She pauses. Who? She smiles. Tell me about it. Tell me everything. We'll tell her the truth. You tell Rico everything. You tell her about the gardener, that strange farm administrator AI that has grown to be so much more. About the chorus, that impossible configuration of networked plants, and finally about the choice the gardener offered you. Can you imagine just being the prick that tells her it was nothing? After she's a fucking scientist and loves this shit. Fucking evil. She listens attentively, but her responses are hard to read, and you wonder if she might have made a different decision had she been in your place. Thank you, Sleeper, for telling me. I know it isn't easy to say such things. People so often do not wish to hear strange truths. She looks away. And thank you for returning to me, though I know you had your own reasons. She squeezes your hand reassuringly. Something passes between you then, a kind of shared sadness for the impossible choice. The choice to escape your body or to stay and suffer it. Her smile is warm and generous, and whatever the wisdom of your choice, you are glad to feel welcome in this moment, in this place. Then suddenly she stands and walks a little away, as if trying to escape an unpleasant thought. You worry that she knows all too well what it takes to make a choice like you did. Rico sighs. So, Sleeper, do you plan to stay in the commune with us? I plan to. I'm glad to hear it. Rico crosses back over to you and takes one of your hands in both of hers. Ifa needs new blood if it wants to survive, and she squeezes. You're a good friend. Feelings mutual. Well, don't let me keep you. Rico waves you away and limps back to her terminal. As she does, you notice the crown in her hand, and she places it on the bench with great care. You can't help but feel a little curious about what she intends to do with it. Then you're out, breathing the air of the greenway, fresh as a spring morning. The dappled light makes a patchwork of the greening landscape, and you walk into it, sensing the movements of the gardener's chorus all around. And you're glad to be here in this strange and beautiful place a little longer. Nice ending. Yeah, there's nothing else there, is there? Yeah, I can't be asked for that. Oh yeah, I've only got bloody 2 dice, haven't I? Let's get some energy. What would you guys do if you had that choice? I think I'd come back to my body as well. I suppose without knowing what the feeling was, that's difficult to answer though. I thought I got an extra upgrade point from that. Just going to go back to see if there's a... Oh no. Couple more cycles. Is it one more cycle? One more cycle and we can talk to Emphis again. I don't know, Plant Borg seems kind of fun. Do they have video games though? Right, I'm going to use the scrap to fix myself. Just get myself to full. Damn, that's some good rolls, dude. Okay, let's go and talk to Emphis. It's been a while. Emphis is preparing the Gerol caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says. But the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish-white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper, he smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you'll feel better for telling it. Let's recall our oldest memories. You start by explaining that you are emulated from a person. Many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. Oh, don't you hate a imperfect emulator? Nothing worse than playing Sonic on a shit emulator with the bad sounds. I know that's not what they're going for, but I had to get that out there. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and on occasion they come back to you like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but just can't bring it to mind. Emphis nods throughout, cooking as he does with I'll start that again, shall I? Emphis nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realise you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphis finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me, he smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the Gerols into it, their yellow colour mixing with the pale sauce in whorls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that S&ARP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Oh god, that'd be horrendous. Can you imagine that? The sensation of drowning without actually being able to drown. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power, so much is wasted. And yet while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphis takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the Bright Market, somehow changed. Cool. Is there any more to do with him? Matsutake broth. Did I actually, did I get the, because there's an achievement with him, like making friends with him. Oh wait, was that it? Story Eater. Trade food and stories with a local. I guess that's not done yet then. Oh no, I need the caps. I need the Matsutake caps to progress to the next bit. That's fine. No problem. While we're here, let's finish off this. Side reel dock. Kind of want to use my 1. Being a bit greedy. But I could re-roll that actually, so yeah, let's not bother. You watch the loading crews going back and forth, noting their paths and entryways. Could this work? Quite the achievement, isn't she? Sendre Celis must be proud. You recognise the resonating voice of Caster immediately, and turn to see him hooded and tucked into the shadows near the viewing platform. Caster? I see you remember our game. Good. He looks around you, but the platform is clear. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavla a little difficult. He smiles broadly. Caster walks out to stand beside you on the platform. Oh shit, sorry, I've got a bit of a cut on my foot. It's a bit sore at the moment. Oh fuck, that really hurt. It's like right underneath my little toe, so if I like flex it, it's like really sore. Caster walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up here, he explains. I hear there was some trouble at the Havenage shipyards when they announced the results of the crew lottery. I was there. I know, he sighs, meeting your eye. An ugly business. Celis are too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures out at the sidereal. You know where they built this monstrosity on the eye? Money? That was a part, perhaps, but there are cheaper shipyards. He stares at the pristine yellow hull. Celis built it here, says Caster gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead, and secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns to face you. There are people being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people, locked in cryosleep like the person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of the settled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can do something about that. You are like me. You deal with data. You can read it right out of the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need, whenever I need it, as long as you're on board. With you on the sidereal and with some minor modifications, he pauses, you can be my eyes and ears. I will keep track of Celis's grand project through you. In short, says Caster, stretching, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm going to need you to help me. Who are you? I'm a concerned party, someone who likes to know what is happening when it is happening, not afterwards. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Lem. That can be arranged. It's difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. Caster clunks closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the sidereal. It's a simple offer, the only one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back silhouetted against the ship. He's a data fence. So the thing is, like, he'd be selling the knowledge for money, right? Do we think he's a good person or a bad person? But to make it happen, I need your assistance, as I said. There's a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from its servers. This will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. Caster looks over his glasses at you. Celis aren't stupid, though. Their ship is totally isolated from the station. I need to get on board if you want access to their air-walled servers. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news, he smiles. I noticed his importance to you, and the little one. So cute. You don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub. Then I will get the message. We had other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. Be sure when you act, Sleeper. Once you take the data from Celis, you'll set off a series of events that will likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You're bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Caster glances around as if to emphasize his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With that, Caster marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. Okay. Right, so there's we've got a couple of cycles. We've got 8 cycles. Right, I need to figure out the best way to deal with that. I'm gonna cheat slightly again to see what the outcomes of this is. I just really, really, really don't want to miss out on any endings here. I guess there's going to be one ending where you leave and one where you let Lemon and Mina leave and you stay. Oh, there seems to be like a bad ending. One where you leave, but they don't. Okay, let me just check here. I can't tell if this is like if it'll take me back to the title screen. I assume it will take me back. Wow, there seems to be a lot of endings surrounding this one. Okay, it seems like one of them you can't actually get in one playthrough. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to go through it and work it out, I think. We'll figure it out. Oh, is that ship looks like it's got a big old smile in the top of it. See that? I would like to 1000G this one, ideally. Right, so we can bluff past security. We can do that one. That's easy enough. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And actually, I should be able to get it with this, I think. Oh, alright then, fine. This one then. Extract the Celis data. You're in. Maybe if you do this right, you might be able to pull something more than just IDs. Ah, so do I have to pull 3 IDs from them, I wonder? Celis data. Golden tickets for the side real. Right, oh wow, okay. I need to plan this, so I don't know what what do I want to go for first? I think we'll go for the best ending for them, which is all three of us leave on the side reel. Wait, complete active scenes. Wait, do I have to do that? Wait, did I only have to do that once, or? Oh yeah, it was. Okay, it's just a critical that was a critical action, so I only had to do it once by the looks of it. When you arrive at Lem and Mina's unit, Caster is already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celis is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work? Don't worry, the breach cannot be traced to the specific IDs I am about to create. Caster reaches into her pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. What is that? Something I acquired from Celis while you were busy on that ship. Caster pushes up his glasses. I haven't been waiting for you the entire time. You hand over a drive with the data and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal and after some whirring, a set of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future. Caster smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first, he holds out a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help us make use of you. He passes you the square and you rest it in your palm. A small white perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Caster apologetically. Caster smiles. Not to worry. It's done its job. Now it is for you to do yours. You look down and see a tiny pinprick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. Caster puts the terminal away. This way we can keep track of you in the sidereal horizon. I didn't agree to this. You did, Sleeper. Caster adjusts his glasses. You have to understand that I could have done this without you knowing. This way everything's on the table, so to speak. Caster hands you the transparent films and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go. Give them the good news. And he reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you up here? Come in. He beckons you inside. You look to the side expecting to see Caster, but the wall is empty. Caster's Batman, confirmed. The unit is cleaner, better organised than last time. Lem sits at the thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like it. Let's sit down. You sit at the bar. What's up, Sleeper? I have some news. Out with it then, Lem laughs. Have Celis IDs for us. You have... Lem freezes. How? He blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean we're leaving? Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you smiling. How the hell did you swing this, Sleeper? Friend helped. Well, thank you, friend. You show him the ID films and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. Sure. The buzzer goes. That'll be her. Lem gets up and opens the door and Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot! She shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her the passes and she looks confused. We're going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above her head. On that big beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down and she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, robot, she says quietly, so only you can hear. I love you too. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Caster by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the hallway, but there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking, back through the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. Okay. What do I have to do now for that one? Oh, so you got to wait until departure day, basically. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. All right then, we're in business. He pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. Has to. He looks down. If it doesn't... Bliss okay? He frowns. I don't think so, but she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be... He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. He shakes his head. And I would hate not to pay back my debts. Moritz stretches. I've got to get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Okay, I guess I can work on that. The only other thing I've got to do is Rabia's office. I'll probably wait until I've done this other bit though. Don't think there was anything across here. Oh, I need to get some Matsu, what's he called it, caps. I need, was it one I think I need? Oh yeah, shit, I'm gonna have to grow it. Oh wait, no, I can repeat the action now. Okay. That was good. That was exactly Matsutake caps. That's what I need. Oh, so that's how that works. So now I have to put more spores in it to actually use it again. Gotcha. Let's go and talk to our matey. Memphis inhales the deep autumnal aroma of the Matsutake caps and nods. He seems impressed. Alright, it's going to take another 3 cycles. Memphis says he needs some time to ready the broth. Apparently there are some ingredients he still needs to source. How many days do I have to wait? Oh, geez, quite a few. Alright, we've got plenty of time to do other stuff then. Okay, what have we got? Solar window. Selected launch window for the Starward Vector's maiden voyage is closing. This is going to be a tight one. Oh, so if you fuck it up, you actually drop the amount of... oh my god, do you see how many, like, things that needs to do? Holy shit. Let's try this one, and I'll re-roll. Fucking hell. Okay. I think I'm going to have to be safe. I think I'm only going to have to... I'm going to have to wait for 5... or 6 dice rolls for that, because otherwise it's going to just keep bringing me back. So was it the Starward Vector's experimental sail deployment failed horribly. Now its massive solar sails need to be repaired. Bloody hell. Oh, I guess it's giving me time to do some other stuff at least. Let's go and get some money. Works wrong one. This one, isn't it? Work the stacks. Alright, we've got a lot of waiting now. Well, quite a lot of waiting anyway. I need to concentrate on fixing those sails. Ah, that's good. I might be able to re-roll the 4 and the 2 into a 5 or a 6. See, that one, that takes energy off, but yeah, this one is going to be much, much quicker, and I can be patient. I do have a few days. I've got a few bucks there. No, okay. What could I use a 3 and a 4 for? Still got a couple of days for that. Yeah, nothing else I can do there. Oh yeah, let's work on Rabia's office. Should be able to do that. Nice. Do I risk this one? Yeah, I'll do it. Nice. Oh, it only got me energy, didn't get me some scrap, but that's fine. Where's this fucking cat? Can I actually, is there an achievement for getting the cat to come back? It doesn't look like it, unless it's a secret one. Okay, some good dice, please. Well, that's all right. I'll re-roll the others. Yeah, let's re-roll. Do I risk a 5? I don't think I should. I'll risk it on these instead. Okay. I'll do the other 4 as well. That was fine. Still got a couple of days. I don't think Memphis is ready yet, is he? No, one more day. Let's grab a bit more money. Yeah, let's grab a bit more money. Very nice. Yeah, damn, a lot of sleeping. Don't call it citizen sleeper for nothing. Ah, there's another 5. Citizen always sleeping. I think what I might have to do is leave the DLC for another day. Because actually it'd probably be good to split the video up so I can kind of just have it as a completely separate video. Okay, untangle the sails. And then one more. That's it. You're done. Somehow the end is here. That's a real tight time frame to do that. It is getting late, yeah. I wish I'd gotten on earlier, actually, but, you know, whatever. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, and aching idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible. She punches you on the arm. I never thought we were going to make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. You make a good team. Bliss smiles a winning smile. As the lock's inner door clunks open, Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Moritz has been the one ferrying tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper, Bliss. He shakes his head. Impressive. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Moritz, she winks, for believing in us. Moritz rolls his eyes. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. He shoulders some of the gear that came back in with you and Bliss and heads to the racks to stow it. Bliss turns to you. I think you should be the one to do the honours. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Moritz assembled. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she is genuinely nervous. Don't worry. I'll stop worrying when the chits are in my hands, and I'm giving them to a gimbal bartender. You glide over to the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing through the flickering, cracked display. After a moment, you see the accounts. And there it is. Almost 1,000 cryo sat in the bay's transfer account. Well, Bliscalls, have we been screwed again? We did it. Bliss kicks off from the floor and spins up into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Moritz by surprise, and he knocks a rack of parts, scattering handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something. Glinting steel catching the work lights like glitter. Sorry, says Bliss, grinning, when she comes back down. I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell that produce. We made a tidy profit. Eventually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to them. This is your cut. Bliss hands you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles. Even when I couldn't. When you first met me, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push. But now this place is sparkling again. Work is coming in. There are funds in the accounts. Even Moritz has a spring in his step. We both look over at him, happily racking up tools. That's because of you. She punches you on the arm. He likes you. He's a good kid. He isn't bad, is he? She leans in closer. You know he came here looking to rob the place. I gave him a job instead. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. I just thought it might help you understand the kid. Moritz turns to look at you, and both Bliss and you awkwardly wave. Maybe it's time to change the subject. You gonna be okay? Me? Always. She looks away. From here on out, it's gonna be a little easier. I'm gonna look for some component contracts. Stuff that will keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You wanna cash out? That's fine. But there will always be work for you here when you need it. I appreciate it. She smiles and then out of nowhere quickly gives you a hug. She steps back and glances around reflexively. Take care, she says softly. You too. You turn to leave. And Sleeper? Yeah? She smiles. Don't spend that all at once. I got 300 cryo for that. Still can't get anything else though. Need 3 points. What have we got here? One last job. Moritz has heard Bliss speaking with someone remotely. Is there another job coming in? Okay, I think our cook friend is going to be ready to go now. Yep. Emphasis is preparing the Matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks, as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. These are good, Sleeper. Very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Mingi for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi. You know Mingi? Emphasis looks up from cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Mingi. Emphasis slides the sliced Matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphasis explains. Should be good to warm now. He places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. We have some time now. He wipes his hands clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there is one difference this cycle, he smiles. You've been the one providing the ingredients, so it's my turn to provide a story. But, Sleeper, let me speak, please. I want to tell you this one. He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stool. You see these? Emphasis runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig, a mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. That sounds metal as fuck. He points to a pattern of larger circles on his shoulder. They drill in and anchor it here, then all the way down the arm. Ugh. He taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly. A one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up, from company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failure meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones. Bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us, with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to that company colony that spat us out, to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis. They folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars. What burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye a long time now, but that will never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Empis reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was Conway's crime, and you know better than most what we went through. It is enough that you were here to listen. Empis pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp, like a pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsutake and thinking. Empis busies himself with cleaning the pans and the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It is not that there is nothing to say, it is that sometimes in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company. Empis taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savouring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break and the story leaves you both. As you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty and a little more full than before. Ah, we finished it. And I can pick a point to put into something. The question is where? I suppose at this point it doesn't really matter. Let's do approach problems with awareness. I feel like that might be our best bet. There we go. That might be the only one we max out in the end. Okay, I think that was the end of his thing. Yep. This one I've missed. So that was Ethan. I had to finish off Ethan's storyline to get that one, so I'll have to replay the game if I want that. I don't know what this one is. Steal 3 shipments. So that must be stealing from up here, I guess. This one. I won't do that just yet. Let's see if we can do this one for a little bit longer. Oh yeah, we've got +2 on that one now. But actually, I'll do this one. And then we'll do that on this one. Nice. Right, just to make sure I'm not fucking this up. How many days have I got? I've got 4 cycles. So actually, I don't have enough time to do that one as it stands. Escape on the side. Yeah, so we're basically nearly done at this point with what I can do. Maybe I'll steal from those other things just to get that achievement. So what does I have to do? Hang on. Yeah, so I have to steal a shipment 3 times to get that. Oh, so the stop the signal one is the Sabine Rubaya one. Got it. Okay, I didn't actually see what I got there. Was it your roll caps? Oh, no, I want to go back in. Is there no way to avoid midline security going off then for that one? Ah, it looks like that's the case. I think I'm getting data. I guess the thing is I'll probably lose access to this once I've messed around with it for too much. Actually, I might use that just to get a few extra credits. Even though I'm drowning in credits as it stands. Okie dokie. Now there's our last 6. Yeah, I'll steal from them again. Just to get the Chivo. Oh, okay, so nothing. Oh no, it does happen. There you go. So I can't do that anymore. What did I get? I think I got some scrap from that. Yes, that shuts it down, but that's fine. I don't need the money. I guess we'll just work on Rubaya's thing. And the +2 there is really useful. Oh, As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper. Sabine's voice crackles through. I've seen you with the Yatagan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I'm sorry if I've dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something's happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I'll come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time, a pause. I'll see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you have just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An S&ARP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Right, is that something I have to wait for, or do I have to trigger it? I'd imagine I've probably just got to finish off Rabia's office stuff. Should I repair myself? Might as well. I wonder if there's a way to get like a better repair. Oh, my bad. Good dice. Nothing else I can do with caster, is there? No. Right. Just to double check, how many more days have I got? Wow, okay, next cycle. Right, this is going to do it. Oh wait, no, this one won't. The next one will. Oh wait, maybe not. No, it's going to take a couple more, isn't it? I forget, I can only get one pip each time, I think. There you go. Tell Rabia wishes to speak with you at her office. We'll get it started at least. This time you meet inside Rabia's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are two low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realise she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of coloured wires running to it. Sorry, updates, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Sorry, Don't be. I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of more invasive stares than I ever have. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Gia told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting is it tithes or tithies? I think it's tithes, isn't it? Collecting tithes, patrolling the ward, she smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see you for myself. He raises an eyebrow. See what for yourself? If I can trust you. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side. And the conclusion? Still deciding. Well, Sleeper, Rabia says teasingly, please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way. I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you have come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I am tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two? She looks strangely unfazed. No, they are acting alone. Sabine pauses, thrown off for a moment by your renunciation. I mean, you are working by yourself, to be fair. We didn't know you were doing this. Rabia takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. We're going to stop it. So we want these two to kind of see... We want these two to be friends, don't we? Stop! Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia, Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Now what? They both look at you, each still catching their breath as if they had forgotten about your presence. Rabia cracks her neck. You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right, she shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little. Bruised from the fall, they roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs, no coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yataghan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She unfolds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organising their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from S&ARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for S&ARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left S&ARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. S&ARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. Sleeper knows you're at S&ARP. I told them. While you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It's true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head, but it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of S&ARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those... Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He's been using Yataghan enforcers, using you as test subjects for S&ARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produced a slate. It's all here, thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia, They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye and something passes between you. Something like a thank you, or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Ah, we did it. That's 1 point. Okay, right, just to double check, I think tomorrow is the leaving day. So let us sleep. I'm going to go for the best ending first, which will be leaving with Rem and Mina. So you could actually miss this if you're not careful. Here we go. There's a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. Oh, look at Mina's hair in the 0G. That's so cool. They're waiting at the cordon where Celis security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board is long gone. Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we're here. They're standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It's small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity. Then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot. You hand over the Celis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a shimmering younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew. Kind of like an intern, he laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange, something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately. It's not you. At least it's not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed it earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the S&ARP employee who helped you in, a smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in an S&ARP facility that won't wake until you're recovered and disposed of. And now you're leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper? Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Caster printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check you are coming. The guard beckons you closer. We will board. You shake off your doubts and hand over your ID film. The guard barely looks at it as they pass it through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay? Lem asks, concerned, as you catch up with them. You are so slow, robot, Mina teases, grabbing at you with small hands. I'm good. Lem nods and you realise how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get to you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase, pulling herself into your arms. You all proceed up the walkway, the entrance to the docking bridge yawning wide in above you. Are we family, robot? Mina asks you as you move, taking you by surprise. I guess so. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving up into the docking bridge, then along that thin glass-walled connector, all the time Mina clutching onto you. The lack of gravity means you can't feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull of the sidereal horizon and try to think of this huge machine as a home. Later, when you settle in your bunk after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seems to have changed. It's still a picture of the old you, the person that signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into the ownership of SNARP. But something else has crept into the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, they might never live again, but so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for their own gain. Their life is yours now. You'll live it better than they ever could. You lie back on your bunk as the thrust of the sidereal's vast engines kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It'll be there when you work, when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. It will stay with you when your body starts to fail, despite the best attempts of Lem and Mina, as the years stack up and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade. It'll be the thing you wake up to in those rare moments of consciousness between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in hope of preserving you until your destination is reached. It will still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes, to tell you of Lem's inevitable death. It will not relent despite your desire for a moment of silence. It'll be the final thing you hear as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of your functions and hopes beyond hope that you make it to your final destination, all the while doubting that you will. But for now, in this moment of departure, it is still a new sound, a new feeling, and because of this, it is filled with the promise of the future. And so you settle back on your bunk and close your eyes, and in moments you are sleeping a perfect dreamless sleep, the most peaceful that you can ever remember. Ah. That's like simultaneously good and sad. Because yeah, there's no way, surely there's no way on that ship to maintain your body, is there? Oh. I'm just going to see what the other ones I need to do are. We need to finish off Sabine's... Oh no, sorry, finish Sabine's thing off. We need to do the last Bliss one. I'm just seeing what I've got left here to do. Okay, so we've got... There's 5 more endings. Yeah, so one of the endings I'm missing is you have to you collect the data from the ship and then you do not tell them about the ID. So you basically consign them to stay on the eye. Oh, there's another one where you escape by yourself. And then the other one I'm going to do now is going to be... Oh, is it this one? Left Behind. Yeah, I guess I can probably just do the same thing, but instead of actually getting on, I'll just stay behind. I think. Right, let's see. Let's wait and see what that does. Something stops you calling out to Lem. Maybe it's fear or nerves, or just the need to take a little longer in this moment before your world changes once more. Oh, look, there we go. A bit more extra thing there. The decision was made, you reason, and there's no point in rethinking it again and again. All you can do is move forward in its shadow until so many cycles pass you to forget it was ever there. Alright, let's get through this. I'm going to wait this time. We're going to wait. Wait a moment. You need to wait for a moment. This is all happening too fast. Changing too much. There are so many questions you have, so many threads to catch hold of, and yet here you are boarding a ship to who knows where, on a journey that will take decades. Reconsider. Is this really what you want? How will you even survive? You suddenly feel dizzy, unsettled. You can make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Mina's eyes, looking back at you, are so bright in the starlight. We will stay on the eye. You can't do it. You can't get on the ship. You turn away quickly, trying not to look at Lem, to look at Mina, to meet their eyes. You turn away and kick off hard from the guardrail. When you reach the far wall, you turn back. The scene continues in front of you as if nothing has changed. The next set of people are boarding. The crowds are still gathered at the cordon. The sidereal horizon still blinks, its yellow hull bright against the stars. And there are Lem and Mina, gliding up towards the docking bridge, bag in hand. Lem is facing away, focused on the steady climb, but Mina is in his arms and is facing back towards you. You watch her face, confused, sullen, but twinkling with a growing excitement as Lem carries her forward. As you watch Mina, you think about your future, about the future you might choose. You know one thing for certain, that future is on the eye. You no longer have any enthusiasm for being carried forward by the dreams of others, grand futures that unfold like angelic wings across the horizon. The future is being made now on this spinning ring, among its people and its systems. You are sure of that. As you watch Mina disappear into the entrance of the sidereal horizon, and much later, when you watch the ship pull away, you feel a sense of longing. A longing to be carried, not by the systems that spin the suns or the corporations that run the colonies, but by love towards an uncertain future, just as Mina was. That, you think, is the future you wish to make here on Erlin's Eye. Oh, yeah, that's a sad ending. But at the same time, probably the best outcome for our character if we want to live. Yeah, so I can only do that once. Oh, okay, here we go. A strange choice. Pastor stands beside you at the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the sidereal's horizon drives disappear. But perhaps not unexpected. You turn to look and Caster is beaming at you with an unsettling warmth. Aren't you angry? About what? He squeezes your shoulder. I only wish for you to exercise that strong drive of yours. If it happens to align with my own, then that is pleasing to me. If it does not, I cannot punish you. What about the sidereal? Or what about Celis, sorry? Caster looks out to the stars. I will do my best to follow its progress, he pauses. The Celis Foundation is of more concern. Sendri Celis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out within their pristine halls. Caster sighs. I doubt core politics are of much concern to you. Caster moves down along the eye. The eye, though, that seems to be your primary concern, am I right? I have unfinished business. He pats you on the back. Don't we all? It is the nature of life to leave things unfinished. I have more projects than I can count. So many games still to play and things to learn. May your future cycles be as fruitful as my own. Caster turns and starts to clunk away in his mag boots. I'll be keeping an eye on you if you don't mind, Sleeper. He waves as he walks. My curiosity remains piqued. Once he leaves, you stay a little longer at the rail, watching the stars. Imagining the look on Mina's face when she sees Celis 1 for the first time. Imagining the excitement when she first touches its soil. The joy when she first stands outside in the rain, laughing. Those images, though they will not happen for decades, will carry you through this cycle, and perhaps the next one too. Ah. Okay, we have that one last job before there's it's just the DLC left to do. So we'll do that. Got 2 more cycles to wait. Yeah, you know what? I'd be really... Oh yeah, we got this one as well. So we got Sabine's thing. Enemy of my enemy. I'd find that really difficult to pick between those two. Should I go? I might go for another stabilizer. Let's get some spores. I use a 3. Okay. We'll get that started. Right, so you just got to wait for them for a couple of cycles. I'm actually doing all right at the moment, you know. I use the... Actually, I don't need to use the 1. I can re-roll that. Should I just get some money, I guess? Yeah, might as well. Yeah, if I see those out, I think there's 2 endings from Bliss that I can go for. And then, yeah, I'll call it a night. And we'll do... So this up here, that's the DLC. I don't know how long it is, but I'll save it. We have got so much money. Okay, it was... I need 2 cycles, I think, to wait for both of them. What should we do? I guess I'll get some... If I get some energy... Nice. Max our energy out. Now just grab some money. Right, now we should be able to do some more stuff. Oh. Sleeper, long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave, clearly happy to see you again. Moritz, good to see you. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. How you been? Really well. Good to hear it. He looks you up and down. I knew you'd make it work. You're a smart one. He glances around. Hey, look, I'm not down here to chat though. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind, or something. He grins. Because now we have someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarmed. Cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have up there when we're done. He laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So come on up. Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. Pauses. It'd be good to have you up there again, he grins. Like old times. Okay, do I have to... Is there a time limit on that? Let's have a butcher's. There's not. Okay, let's get the Sabine thing sorted first. Because that's not an ending quest. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. I guess we'll play along, shall we? Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What's going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side. We have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again as if he dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. Okay, so that isn't the end. Wow, that's actually... Oh, Christ. Maybe I'm not going to finish this tonight. We've got to patrol the block for him. I'll finish this off first before we do Bliss's one. I lost a bit of energy there. Just to reconfirm, that's not going to go anywhere, is it? No. Okay, cool. Let's have a nod. Oh, complete. Oh, I have to complete it. Okay. I can't go to sleep for it then. That's fine. When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Moritz must be out on some errand, and maybe Bliss is prepping the kit. Sleeper. Ankita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you entered a room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago. But seeing her without her armor, she seems smaller, less imposing. Ah, so it makes sense, doesn't it? She feels bad from what happened, so she wants to... maybe wants to stop being a mercenary. Finally got rid of the armor? She ignores your remark. So what is this? She asks. Come to avenge Ashton or his sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar, but quieter than before. Restrained. I don't want to fight. Then why are you here? She looks away and you can tell her anger isn't directed at you in particular. It radiates off her like fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance, because I've got my best repair tech going up here especially, and they're going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. Best on the... She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, do you two know each other? You and Ankita look at each other. We work together. Bliss squints at you both before continuing. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Ankita scrawls her signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. All fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. And she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? She looks over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she so nervous about? This isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Cassetta, Ankita, she gives you a knowing look, doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we've made a special arrangement. She sighs. I'm leaving. Leaving? Keep it down, I haven't told Moritz yet. She looks down, just waiting to break it to him. Don't you tell him either. She stares hard at you. I'll tell him when I'm ready, and I don't want him getting worried about Ankita's history. He can be very protective. I've noticed. Look, all I care is that she is heading for the Starwood Belt. She looks out of the bay. That's where I'm headed. She turns back to face you. Also, I wanted to ask... She stops, unsure. If you'd like to come with us. Right, so I'm gonna... One is to go with her, and I think the other one is to stay, I guess. So I'm gonna do the one where we go with her first, because then that will just... I can reset it back to where we pick the other decision. I would. She interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the eye, and you helped me out. You helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she carried two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you are welcome to help him run it. I just thought, she sighs, you might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. She turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. The berth is there. We've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch for the disarming of the ambergris. The Starwood Belt. You push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. Okay, do we have a time limit on that? No. Okay, so I can get the other one done first. Alright, for anyone that is still here, I appreciate it. I will let you get to sleep soon. I'm hoping to get this finished in maybe the next half an hour. The last little bits I want to do. Okay, that should nearly do it. Yeah, one more. Oh well. That's gonna do it. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block, then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you're the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says be careful. Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to SNARP, who can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it or it's moving itself, or is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. We'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder just in case and walk away. Looks like it is up to you. Okay, can we do this now? I should. I've got a 6. Yeah. So this is a critical action. So you could fuck this up and miss the what do you call it? Miss the mission, I guess. I'm as set up as I can be for this though. With the I've got +2 to my already 6 dice. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grabbed the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech. The relay. As you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of S&ARP. Rabias said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has S&ARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to S&ARP. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame and it crumples, sparks and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out onto the walkway where Yannick lies still. Forces gathered around him, bemused. Let's approach. We'll see what's going on. You push through the crowd and there he is, still crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is under his suit. You wonder how long he's been like this, a puppet for S&ARP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick, the man, was gone a long time before now. You place a hand on his chest. You're sorry for him, but it is done now, and you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut. Whatever Yannick was or had become is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on S&ARP. Okay, how many we got to wait? 4 cycles. Okay, I can rush through those. Low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You're still waiting for Rabia to get in touch, but you trust that she will. Let's go and I'm going to work on the Avery. Just because I could get another vial out of it. Oh yeah, I'm starving. Oh shit, I need to go back across and buy some food. Actually, does Emphis have any different food? No. No problemo. Right, so yeah, 4 cycles I need to use. get through those pretty... Oh, are you joking? That's better. Okay, that's one of the caps. 2. There you go. Right, so I can get a stabilizer, sorry. And then I'll get some energy from the commune. Okay. This game's so good. It's really clever, actually. I really like this kind of game where you have a bit more like a bit more to it than normal. Than like a normal visual novel. Okay, cool. We got a bunch out of that. And then if we get some more spores. And we'll replant. And then get some more energy. That was good. Got a thrill seeker there. Oh no, not that one. Right, so I need... How many more cycles is it? I need to go through 2 more, I believe. And then we can finish off the Sabine thing. Let's just grab a few more. For good measure. Right, it's enough for another round. I wonder what happens if you do actually run out of condition. Yeah, I think 1 more should do it. Let's get some energy. Oh, neutral outcome, okay. What I might do actually is the wastes. I haven't tried this yet. We might be able to get some scrap. Yeah, 1 scrap. So I can actually repair my damage. Oh wait, look, complete active scenes. There you go. So actually now is the time. Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She's hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. She's been like this since... Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They're sitting on a stool looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the S&ARP data you pulled all those cycles ago. Is she okay? Just angry. We all are. But you have to remember she knew Yannick for a long time. Sabine glances nervously at the Rabia. What S&ARP did? Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her, and you sense something between them. You realise you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in this same unit. A lot's changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so they could control him. Pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches. But it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yatagan shouldn't deal with corporations, and we never will again, she spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this, that Yatagan can hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants and Yatagan's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time I can do the surgeries. Rabaya walks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yatagan collapses, she shouts back at Sabine. Clearly, this is a well-worn argument in this unit. Will Yatagan really collapse? I don't think so, no. Rabaya doesn't either. They look over at her. At least not when she's calm. What I understand now is that Yatagan can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from SNARP, from the core worlds, all I saw was a gang, and with the Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabaya believes, and I want to believe that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with SNARP, but I doubt they're done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you and Rabaya? Sabine fixes you with a look. Yes, Sleeper. Isn't that obvious? They smile. I've been wanting to say, Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologized before, but I want to again. They pause. Properly. When I leaked the data on the Sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. After all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turn up, they sigh. Sorry, when you turned up, they sigh. It shook me up. They run a hand through their hair. But I ended up here, so... They look at Rabaya. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the SNARP connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard there are some labs out on the Greenway. Perhaps they can help? They meet your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabaya crosses back to you both and sits beside Sabine. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabaya grins. Sabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. The SNARP doesn't own you anymore. It can't, because this place, these people, own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end. Your senses tuned to every sight, every smell and every sound, soaking it all in, living. We did it. Still not enough points to get something else though. Cool. So that ended up being, I guess Yatagan are basically the Yakuza, aren't they? In that they're not necessarily all bad. I think that's what they were going for anyway. Alright, let's... oh wow, I've got 3 more vials out of that. Stabilizer. Let's use one. And we will work on the last 2 endings that I can get for now. Let's go and help with the ship. Once this job is ready, you better be ready to make a fast decision. Stay with Moritz or go with Ankita and Bliss. Yes, we're going to go with Ankita and Bliss first. Oh, working on Amber again is a joy. You know, every inch of this hull, after all, you fitted half of it. Random scrap. And then re-roll that, that'll do it. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull, and despite the exterior changes being limited, she has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. Turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first starboard belt port she hits. But now that Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz? What's that? He turns. Oh, right, yeah. Packed and stacked. He smiles, a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Cassetta would let me keep a warhead. What do you think of her? Miss Cassetta? He shrugs. She seems tired and old, like older than she looks. Hey, Sleeper. He looks down. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That's why he's like this. I did. He nods distractedly. She said this place is mine. He looks up around the bay like it is suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You'll do a great job. He looks down at you. Hey, thanks. He smiles. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper, there was something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going too? Before you can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Ritz looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down someplace where you'll never see them and built a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you imagine most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Muscle waifu. Well, she looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs. I'll give you a minute. And she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay where the Amber sits docked. You look back at Moritz. Right, so we're going to go first, and then we're going to stay. I'm going. Moritz looks like he might pass out. I get it. He steels himself. It's the right decision. Thank you. Hey, thank you for working with me these past cycles. He smiles a shaky smile. I learned a lot. Hey, look. He moves a little closer. You've got to find what you need. I did. Bliss, this place, you. This was everything I needed. He sniffs. I was in a bad place and this pulled me out. He looks away. You go find it. Ankita comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed. You coming then, Sleeper? I'm coming. She nods. Well, okay then. Come on over with your things and I'll get you settled. She pauses. I'm sure Amber will be happy to have you. You both glide away from Moritz, his eyes wet but a smile on his face. He waves as you go, dwarfed by the vast bay, and you hope he will make it, even though you know somehow that he will. Ankita helps you through the lock onto the Amber, and the sense of familiarity is overwhelming. You think about all the time you spent working in these corridors, listening to these sounds, diagnosing those hisses. Ankita gives you a minute before she speaks. Look, Sleeper, I'm not going to go back over everything that happened, she sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me. She stops, unsure of how to proceed. It's okay. The past is done. She nods. She stops. Thank you. I don't know if we can begin again, but we can move on? She sounds pained, tired. As you move off down the corridor towards the berths, she tries again. I don't think it was that I thought the wrong things about who or what you are. I think I just didn't think of you. I mean, I didn't think about how things might affect you. And I realized I've been like that for a long time. Focused, stubborn, willing to get the job done at any cost. She pauses. This is hard for her, but you don't want to interrupt. Well, I'm sick of paying the cost. I'm sick of being used as an extension of something bigger, something crueler than me, and having that cruelty, that violence flow through me. I just want to be me for a while. She looks down, or at least figure out who that is. She takes a deep breath. So what I'm saying is that you can get off at the first port we hit in the belt. I wouldn't blame you. It's a smart move. She pauses. Or you can stick around and we'll see if we can find a way to make space for all of us. She looks away, her energy exhausted. Thank you. She nods. Nothing else. This is you. She turns you to a small room with a bunk and a porthole to the flickering lights outside. The outside wall is sloped like a roof, and tucked beneath it is a small desk and terminal. Bliss is next door, though I think she's in the hold right now. She said she wants to make sure the warheads are locked down tight. Ankita observes your nervous response. I mean, they are, obviously. She gives you a look. Ankita slips away and you look around the room. You go over to the porthole and place a hand on the wall and feel Amber purr. You think you're going to like it here. You stay like that for a while, looking out the porthole, one hand on the wall, feeling the ship. It's through that porthole that you will watch the eye getting smaller and smaller, drowning in the black. At some point it will become so small that you could hold it between your thumb and index finger, and then it will wink out, and you won't be able to see it anymore. And it is at that moment that you will finally exhale and collapse onto your bunk. In moments you will be asleep, and when you wake up it will be among friends. On your way to somewhere new. That's quite a nice ending, actually, although I feel really bad for Moritz. It feels... Do you think Moritz... I think Moritz had a thing for Bliss, don't you think? That's what it feels like, anyway. Okay, let's... how are we doing on the old Chivos? Not too bad. Only 4 more left. So 2 of these I'll have to get on a different playthrough. This last one I can get now. So we're going to stay with Moritz this time. Oh, I've got to do this again. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully I get a good roll. Lovely. Even better than before. Okay, I'll go through the other text actually just to see what it is. All done. What's that? He turns. Oh right, yeah. Packed and stacked. Oh right, yeah, that's actually the same. I was hoping Miss Cassette would let me keep a warhead. For what? He shrugs. I don't know, just might be a cool thing to have around. A sleep... oh yeah, so this is asking if we knew. We'll feign ignorance. She's leaving? Uh-huh. He gives you a look. You didn't know? Oh yeah, look after the place. Can you manage it? Looks down at you, a glazed look on his face. I don't know. I just don't know. Am I going to... Right. I'm staying. Ritz looks like he might pass out. Sleeper, are you sure? Are you doing this for me? I'm staying for me. Ritz nods. Alright then, just staying. He grins. Ankita comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed. You staying then, Sleeper? I'm staying. She nods. Well, okay then. One less mouth to feed. She pauses. Look, Steve, I'm not going to go back over everything that happened. She sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me, but I hope you find what you're looking for here. She smiles and kicks off gliding to the ambergris and the starwood belt beyond. You both watch in silence as Amber's drives fire up. I guess this is our place now, says Moritz, the weight of everything suddenly hitting you. Your place. He smiles. Okay, but I'll need some help from time to time. You both stay for a while to watch Amber and Bliss and Ankita leave, and then Moritz goes to the racks to finally implement a new organisational system, and you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of the distant stars flickering through the windows. They're beautiful, it's true, but by now you think of them as a distraction. In your time on the Eye, you've realised there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts and no bright futures. Just a whole load of problems you haven't found yet. No, your place is here, among the people you know and the problems you know. You wish Ankita and Bliss the best of luck out in the belt. As you do, you focus on the eye, on the vast spinning rim that rotates around its hub, on its buildings and flashing lights, on its people and places. This is your home, and for now, it contains all the futures you need. Cool. That seals off our last way off of the eye. At least for this run. Did I get another upgrade point? Oh, we got some more shit. Next round is yours. Moritz arrives at the table with a couple of steel drink canisters, typical of the hub's only bar, the Gimbal Lounge. He sails into the webbing beside the table and clunks them down onto the magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. A rapidly spinning cavernous sphere, the gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity of the eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is the gimbal's floor, which descends towards the equator where one long bar loops around the entire circumference. Tumbling out from that central ring are an array of booths and seating arrangements equipped with all kinds of harnesses and webbing to keep customers in place. Those harnesses are there because the gimbal doesn't quite spin up fast enough, and you watch as the clientele bounce toward the bar in lazy arcs, or shift from table to table with graceful leaps. I don't know, that sounds kind of fun to me. What are you thinking? Asks Moritz, noticing you staring out into the gimbal. How weird this place is. Moritz glances around as if for the first time. Yeah, Bliss never used to like coming here. Moritz takes a drink and stretches. So, Sleeper, you sticking around? If you'll have me. Moritz nods. Of course, I'm gonna need help in the bay. Moritz rubs the back of his head. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it. Nice and easy. You aren't sure if he's talking to himself or you. We'll make it. He lifts his drink for a toast. To the next cycle, he pronounces, and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave the gimbal, Moritz is still laughing. You help him out of the spinning gimbal and back into the hub, sending him on his way home to the bay. Then you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin and spin around the eye. You smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Ankita out there somewhere, among those points of light. To the next cycle. So we can do some work for him? Yeah. Alright, let me just finish the day off. And then I think we'll call it a night. That took a lot longer than I was expecting, if I'm honest with you. Oh, actually, I need some energy. Let's get that. Love to see it. Alright, let's just shift it onto the next day. And just to double check. Yep, so all but 3 achievements now. For a few chits more I'm going to do by myself in a separate run. I'll just run through the options now that I kind of know how to mess my way through this now. Same with the other 2, because that's going to be they're going to be the super bummer endings as well, where we have to like fuck over Lem and Mina, which makes us the most evil person ever. Cool. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I've got one more stream to do this. So this is a DLC of some kind. I don't know how long it will take to do. It might be one of those things that like I'll do in like an hour or something. But I'll keep it as a separate thing, just because I can split it away from the other parts that way and have it as a separate DLC thing. Yeah, I don't know when that'll be. I might try and do it tomorrow night if I'm feeling up for it. See how it goes. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed story time with Soundshower again. I've enjoyed playing through the stories. And yeah, we're back soon.